Hello everyone and welcome to the channel to making my predictions for this Saturday's AEW Pay-Per-View Worlds End. We'll kick things off in the semifinals of the Continental Classic, and our first match will be Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada taking on Ricochet. For me in this match, the setup seems pretty clear to what will be happening with Ricochet afterwards. He'll be in some kind of entanglement with the Hurt Syndicate and Swerve Strickland, and for that reason, with me seeing the path pretty clear for him, I believe he'll be losing here in this semifinals to Okada. It feels like Okada's on a clash with Kenny Omega when he returns, which could possibly be at this show on Saturday. And I don't think him losing right now would be the start of that. I think he'll at least be getting to the finals, which could then set up the return of the Cleaner. So now on to our second semifinal match. And in the second semifinal match, we'll see Kyle Fletcher take on Will Ospreay for the second time. And in this rematch of these two, after their classic at Full Gear that I saw in person, I don't think this one will stack up that much for me. I think seeing the match in person is always going to be better than seeing it on TV. But in this clash between the friends, I think with the Continental Classic rules fully intact, I think Kyle Fletcher's kind of run out of ways to cheat, and I think Will Ospreay will be getting the win and heading to the finals. I think there's kind of been a story told since the beginning of the Continental Classics where they were building up Okada's G1 history and how him and Ospreay just tangled up in their last run in the G1, and I think them having the finals here is kind of going to play into that. And also with the potential return, I think these two, being the two finalists, could really stir the pot and set up some decent stories later on. So now we'll find out who the winner of this will be later on in the show. And now on to match number 3. And match number 3 for the AEW International Championship, where Konosuke Takeshita will be defending his title against Powerhouse Hobbs. For this match, I see with the Don Callis family coming up short in the Kyle Fletcher match, I think Konosuke Takeshita will be walking in and out still your AEW International Champion. With Takeshita having these matches set for Wrestle Dynasty, and they've already pretty much advertised as title matches for that international title, I think he'll hold on to it. I also think him and Hobbs will have another match later on down the road after Hobbs does something else to where inevitably he'll be coming back to take on Takeshita. To me, this match feels more of a wet the beak kind of match here, where we'll like get a taste of what Takeshita and Hobbs have, where people will want this match again, and then it'll be built up more for the second clash between these two former allies in the Don Callis family. So now on to our next match. And this will be for the TBS Championship, where Mercedes Moné will be defending her title against Kris Statlander. For this match, I see the two combatants trying to top their last match at Full Gear and make this one even better, but inevitably, I see the result being the same, with Mercedes Moné retaining her TBS Championship here. This match could be chalked up to the whole Mercedes is also another member of the roster heading to Japan for Wrestle Dynasty and being in a title match to where she just is going to keep the title, but I also could see this playing into storyline purposes to where Kris Statlander's come close again to beating Mercedes. We just saw Kris Statlander kind of come back to help Willow out, and I think a mix between these three could be what we'll be seeing in the TBS title picture in the near future. Because as things currently sit, I believe the next TBS champion will either be Willow Nightingale or Kris Statlander, and I think the seeds will be planted here firmly at World's End after Mercedes retains her championship. So now on to our next match, which will also be the shorts hype video of the pay-per-view that'll be up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, so come back for that. And went with a little challenge this time, and this will be MJF taking on Adam Cole for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And in this match, I believe, I guess, according to the odds, I'm going with a little bit of an upset pick here, and I think the way to end this feud between these two is for Adam Cole to defeat MJF and take away that Dynamite Diamond Ring. While I could see the path to MJF keeping the Diamond Ring and doing something else, I think this could be looked at as a moment to where maybe Adam Cole gets his swagger back, like that meme clip from back in the day shows, and I think him beating MJF, this kind of vanquishes that. This puts everything to bed. You can inevitably come back to this, and hopefully the crowd won't be pissed about it, because it seems like everyone just wants this over with, and I think this could be used as a stepping stone for Adam Cole to where he can get mixed into something else. Maybe him and O'Reilly and Roderick Strong merge together and go after the trios titles, or Cole sets his sights on one of the singles titles. But all in all, I think we need to set Adam Cole up on a path, and I think the way to set him up on a decent path is him taking away that ring from MJF and winning on Saturday night. So now on to our next match of the evening. And this will be a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's Championship, where Mariah May will be putting her title on the line against Thunder Rosa. And in this battle, I think this will be a drag 'em out fight, as we've seen Thunder Rosa in these kind of matches and Mariah May in these matches. They've been very good. I think that'll mix well, but I think Mariah May will be retaining her Women's Championship here, defeating Thunder Rosa. It pretty much seems to everyone that the wheels are in motion for the Mariah May Toni Storm rematch, and now with Toni being her old self, basically forgetting the past 2 years of her career, I think that the clash will be happening, and we all think it's in Australia, and I think that's where Toni Storm maybe dupes Mariah May and takes the Women's Championship back from her. And I think that'll all be set up with Toni getting wins here and there like she used to when she was on her way to getting her first AEW Women's Championship, and maybe she buddies up to Mariah May to where Mariah's like, maybe Toni is like gone and she doesn't remember what happened, until inevitably Toni was just playing like a big dumb dipshit and she gets Mariah May and then takes that Women's Championship back in her homeland. And I think that all gets set up here when Mariah May retains her Women's Championship in this Tijuana street fight. So now on to the finals of the Continental Classic. And in the finals of the Continental Classic, I believe we'll be seeing Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada take on Will Ospreay. And in the finals here, I think there's an overarching story that'll be parlayed out of this, and I think Okada will defeat Will Ospreay and keep his Continental Championship. With these two being the finalists and the talks of Kenny Omega making his triumphant return to AEW at this show, I think they'll play into the old feud between Ospreay and Omega, along with playing into the feud between Okada and Omega that I think we'll see play out first. This will be used at a later date for another feud, because we've seen the past between Ospreay and Omega kind of intertwined, where Kenny was like, I don't think Will can fill my shoes, and Will's always trying to. And right now, Omega comes back and he's gonna try to dethrone Okada, which was something that Will Ospreay couldn't do tonight at World's End. So now on to our main event of the evening, and this will be for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, where Jon Moxley will be putting his title on the line against Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Hangman Adam Page. Now, in the entire build-up for this match, they've been playing into the fact that Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Hangman can't get it together to where they put their own interest in front of each other, getting in the way, and Jay White or Hangman or Orange Cassidy ends up getting their ass beat, and Jon Moxley walks away with everything. And while this Wednesday they've kind of showed, hey, maybe we can get on the same page, I think that's still going to play a role, and I think something's going to just like cross the wires in Hangman especially, and I think Jon Moxley will take advantage of that and retain his AEW World Championship here. The run of the Death Riders will not end here at World's End, and I think the end of the Death Riders is more than likely, in their current incarnation of how they're running, goes when Jon Moxley loses the World Championship. And we all kind of, it seems that a majority of people believe that Darby Allin will be the guy to defeat Jon Moxley and take away that title. And I think they'll be leading into that and build more and more to that till inevitably we get this match. And I think we need to see the Death Riders. I know this is going to sound pretty stupid, but they need to do more crazy things. Like, depending on where Darby could defeat Moxley, like, I think there's some kind of symmetry and some parallels to where he would defeat Moxley at Revolution, because that's where Sting had his last match. That's where Darby went flying through the glass and everyone was acting like we just saw a murder. And I think there'd be something good to where he would win there, but there's just a part of me that's like, if he wins there, we still have this Christian contract floating. Do you want to do Darby's basically going to be a two-time AEW World Champion to where he wins at Revolution and then the Death Riders just like pissed off and just beat the ever-living shit out of him, and then Christian comes swarming his way in there and wins the title? Or do we take Darby out of the picture for a few months? If he's going to go climb a mountain, do we take him out of the picture early, have him just get annihilated by something crazy that'll get people talking, where people be like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in a good way, and this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in a bad way, and act like this is the death of every company we've ever watched, and wrestling's over except for one place because they can do no wrong. And then have Darby make his triumphant return in the lead into All In, and that's the moment where Darby becomes world champion, and the Death Riders have kind of been pushed to the side. They're done for now in their current mission statement, and now we look on to a new track and a new way forward in AEW with Darby Allin as the world champion. Or would the trigger get pulled earlier to where Darby takes the crown away from Moxley? But all in all, I think Mox retains his title, and we keep rolling with this Death Riders thing for many more months, with it continuing at World's End. So that'll do it for my predictions for the 2024 edition of World's End. Leave your thoughts and picks in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern for the short hype video for the MJF Adam Cole match. Also, Commanders franchise shorts, those will keep pumping out every day starting at 8 a.m. where at least 4 clips will be going up. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.